Hello, everyone. Spirit 420 here because everything I do is just so damn 420. And in fact, this book reading that I'm doing tonight, I consider one of the most 420 things that I have ever done. And I'm really excited about it. Hope you enjoyed the way I open it up. Before I start reading and discussing the book, I do want to say a couple of things. I do consider this, and I've read, no other books. So, I'm teasing. I've read many books over my 50 years, and without a doubt, I consider this book now to be my favorite and best book ever. One of the things that was really strange when reading it, and I may end up coming to tears a couple times while reading, but one of the things that happened to me as I was reading is it literally felt like I could have written the book, and that's a book I think that touches you, and I hope I know a lot of other people have felt that, so I hope and pray that some of you end up feeling that as well. So I am going to have to wear glasses because I'm old. Ooh, that coffee is so hot. That is like literally fresh off the pot. And there's a few, I will say this, there's a few excerpts as we go along that I really like. And when I get to those, I'll pop them on the screen where it says the name of the book now. But yeah, this is just, it's a book, it's called a children's book, supposedly, and y'all can see the cover there. But one of the first things that the guy says in there is this book is for anybody from 8 to 80, or 80 to 8. Actually, he says 80 first. I noticed that, which I liked as well. It's those little tiny things, right? But it's far from a children's book. I think the reason it's categorized that is because it, first of all, it technically is categorized as a comic or graphic novel, right? Which always kind of puts it in the kid realm, number one, but it has artwork and drawings, which again takes it away from, possibly being a literary masterpiece or whatever. But this is a what I consider to be a literary masterpiece of our time. And I'll read there's a couple on the back. There are quotes from people who have read the book. And I just want to share these with you real quick before I get into the book itself. The world that I am required to inhabit is this one, but the world that I long to inhabit is the one that Charlie Mackesy, I'm hoping I pronounced that right, has created. That's Elizabeth Gilbert. This one is by Bear Grylls. I think everybody knows him, the nature guy, right? Love, friendship, and kindness. This book speaks a universal language. Here's one from Richard Curtis, just two more. A wonderful work of art and a wonderful window into the human heart. And I think my favorite, though, and it's I think that's why they saved it for the end, but it's by Miranda Hart. And she says, simply, the world needs Charlie's work right now. So when I say that's the best one and the one for last, that's kind of why we're here tonight. And I hope that some of you folks engage and say a few things and give a few comments along the way. This is not a book, it even states it. This is not a book that you have to start at the beginning or the middle or anywhere. You can pick it up from anywhere. So really, it lends itself to have discussions along the way, right? So, moving right along, just setting up my little window on this side that y'all don't see. So, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, Charlie Mackesy. I do want to read the dedication. I think I even have this one up here. So, This book is dedicated to my lovely, kind mom and my wonderful dog, Dill. I thought that right there in the beginning kind of said a lot. So here is the preface, and I'm going to read the book in order, although I urge you all to just pick it up and do like I did the first time and just start reading, because it is made that way. Excuse me as I clear my throat. Hello. You started at the beginning, which is impressive. I usually start in the middle and never read introductions. It's surprising that I've made a book because I'm not good at reading them. The truth is, I need pictures. They are like islands, places to get to in a sea of words. This book is for everyone, whether you are 80 or 8. I feel like I'm both sometimes. I'd like it to be one you can dip into anywhere, anytime. Start in the middle if you like, scribble on it, crease the corners, and leave it well formed. The drawings are mainly of a boy, a mole, a fox, and a horse. I'll tell you a little bit about them, although I'm sure you'll see things here that I don't, so I'll be quick. The boy is lonely. The boy is lonely when the mole first surfaces. They spend time together, gazing into the wild. I think the wild is a bit like life, frightening sometimes, but beautiful. In their wanderings, they meet the fox. It's never going to be easy meeting a fox if you're a mole. The boy is full of questions. The mole is greedy for cake. The fox is mainly silent and wary because he's been hurt by life. Sound like anybody you know? The horse is the biggest thing they've ever encountered, and also the greatest. They are all different like us, and each has their own weaknesses. I can see myself in all 4 of them. Perhaps you can too. Their adventures happen in springtime, where one moment snow is falling and the sun is shining, then the sun shines. The next, let me read that over. Their adventures happen in springtime, where one moment snow is falling and the sun shines the next, which is also a little bit like life. It can turn on a, I think that's sixpence. I don't actually know that word. Isn't that funny? Probably shouldn't have read a book. I hope this book encourages you, perhaps, to live courageously with more kindness for yourself and for others, and to ask for help when you need it, which is always a brave thing to do. When I was making the book, I often wondered, who on earth am I to be doing this? But as the horse says, the truth is everyone is winging it. The truth is everyone is winging it. Isn't that the truth? I'm winging it right now. So I say, spread your wings and follow your dreams. This book is one of mine. I hope you enjoy it. Much love to you. Thank you, Charlie. Hello. And if you notice, there's the mole. I just love the fact that he starts it like that, saying hello to everybody, right out of the gate. It just feels a little different. But I will tell you this book has always felt like, from the moment I saw it, before I read it, when I first ordered it, just waiting on it, it truly felt like today's generation, or this generation's Giving Tree, which was also a book of philosophy and one for any age. And I still read that book today. Have a comment, so before I go to the next page, I'm going to come over here. Hey man, happy hump day to you too, brother. Glad you could stop by. Hope you get to hang out. But if you got other things to do, which I know you're an extremely busy content creator like myself, I completely understand, man. But if you stick around, hopefully you'll dig something that's said here and there from the book. On to the next page. I forgot to give you the hello, so I'll do that. I'm so small, said the mole. Yes, said the boy, but you make a huge difference. I am going to stop on that one and just say it is. Every little thing in this world makes a difference. So it doesn't matter if you're an ant eater, a human, or a bear, or an elephant, or whatever. You have a part to play. And every single thing is part of this great, magnificent creation. And it doesn't matter if you're small, because even the smallest things make the biggest differences. What do you want to be when you grow up? Kind, said the boy. This boy is extremely insightful, I'll tell you that, because that was not the words on my mouth when I was a young boy. Although I didn't say I wanted to be mean, I didn't have quite the foresight to say I wanted to be kind. What do you think success is? Asked the boy. To love, said the mole. I will stop here and just say this. I have already come to the place and understanding that it is because of the ones that I love and the ones that love me, that has become the most important thing in my life. And that happened, that started, obviously, let me just say it like this. That started with the moment that my twins were born, right? But it didn't come to full volition until I found my wife. And even then, it wasn't until years down the road that I knew I truly loved her and she truly loved me. And that didn't happen, by the way, until I loved myself. And he doesn't have to say it here, right? But you have to love yourself. In order to love it all, you got to love yourself. And the reality is you learn to love yourself first, and then you will be loved and be able to give love freely and successfully, I might add. Oh, we do have a comment. Just a moment. Isn't it? I mean, dude, some of these are just so, it really, the book came out in 2019 and I almost feel robbed that it took me 3 years to find it. It is really the most incredible book that I've ever read, with the most incredible messages just right there to you, right? No bullshit. It's like Charlie found a way to say it the way a kid would say it if a kid had understanding of life, which we don't when we're a kid, right? We don't get that. At least I didn't, not to sound rude to anybody who may have, but I did not. Oh, I think I went too far. No, that was it. I was on the right one. My bad. Well, hello. It's not written in here, but clearly that's the mole talking to that beautiful piece of cake right there. Do you have a favorite saying? Asked the boy. Yes, said the mole. What is it? If at first you don't succeed, have some cake. I see. Does it work? Every time. I thought that one had a lot to say too. Sometimes, isn't it that you just say, fuck it? I mean, isn't that really what the cake is representative of here? Is just saying, fuck it, have some cake. Don't worry about it. Let go and let someone else have it, right? I got you a delicious cake, said the mole. Did you? Yes. Where is it? I ate it. said the mole. Oh, but I got you another one. You did you? Excuse me, did you? Where's that one? Same thing seems to have happened. What do you think is the biggest waste of time? Comparing yourself to others, said the mole. And this next one, I wonder if there is a school of unlearning. God, that's 9 words. By the way, I don't know if anybody knows it, but 9 is the number of completion. It's the number of, it's the final number from 0 to 9. There's only 10 digits. And 9 is the final one. Oops. Hey, Cheerful Flower, how are you? So it's funny when I read that sentence there. I wonder if there is a school of unlearning. That one sentence has so much to say, right? I mean, just so much, because we learn things and then we learn later on in life that they weren't necessarily the way that we thought they were. Or they weren't necessarily what someone taught us they were. We come to our own values and we come to our own priorities, and we realize, what is right for us and what is wrong for us. I don't like right and wrong because I don't believe in that. I believe that everything happens for a reason. But at the same time, inherently in each and every one of us, we know if what we're doing is something that is right or if what we're doing is something that is wrong. And we have to fight that battle ourselves, right? But how fucking easy would it be to redo that if you could unlearn everything and start over when you feel like you're at a place to actually learn it what you feel like is the proper way? And I know all that may sound kind of funny, but unschooling, right? That's funny you say that, strange bird, because my boys are homeschooled as well as they are in what's called the unschooling or going through school in the unschooling fashion, which, by the way, does not include any of that core shit, where you, in order to multiply 12 times 3, you do 25 fucking steps. Common Core has nothing to do with that. Yes, I do. I mean, I don't know him personally. If you're talking about, do I know of him? I haven't read about him. His name is Charlie Mackesy. Here, I'll do this for you. I'll put his name back up here. But I actually was looking for more books, and as far as I can tell, this is the only one that he's written. But I would like to see if he's done more, because this one, just really, quite frankly, like I said, it touched me in the deepest of ways. Not like that, you perverts. I have somebody who comes over on Sundays for that. So, let's get back to the next page here. And unfortunately, the glasses have to come back on. Most of the old moles I know wish they had listened. Listened. I am not to their fear. Listened less. There it is. Okay. Sorry. I will say this. It's very challenging at times to read Charlie's handwriting. And so I knew it was going to be a challenge to do this. But hey, we're all really just winging it, aren't we? Most of the old moles I know wish they had listened less to their fears and more to their dreams. Yeah, isn't that the truth? That's not where I am. I can tell you that, folks. I'm listening more to my dreams now than ever before. And my fears, well, fuck them. Fuck those fears. The only thing that you have to fear truly is fear itself. That is a great saying. It is a wise saying, but it actually is a saying that says everything in a nutshell. Nutshell. And simply put, to fear it is to give it power, and you don't want to give away your power either. What is that over there? It's the wild, said the mole. Don't fear it. Imagine how we would be if we were less afraid. Isn't that just, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it about everyone, but each one of these damn pages is like a profound, to see that here, now you got the fox coming into a story. Obviously there's no words. This is just a picture, but it speaks volumes, and it speaks 1,000 words, doesn't it? I'm not afraid, said the mole. If I wasn't caught in this snarl, I'd kill you. If you stay in that snarl, you will die, said the mole. So the mole chewed through, that's not a snarl. What is that? I really don't know what that is. Snare? Is that it? SNARE? Is that what he's saying? Snare? It's a trap. I wish I knew it. I wish I was more, a little bit smarter than I am. So I'll start this over. I'm not afraid, said the mole. If I wasn't caught in this snare, I'd kill you, said the fox. If you stay in that snare, you will die, said the mole. So the mole chewed through the wire with his tiny teeth. One of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things. Oh, jeez, man. I'm telling you, it's just like every single page is a slap of reality. And if I don't do that, I'm going to break down in tears as I feel what I consider to be, the greatest power in the world just delivered this book to him for everybody to feel it that way, right? If I'm not the problem, there is no solution. It comes hand in hand in this, because I constantly try to tell this to people, and it's the hardest thing to actually practice on your own and put into practice for yourself. But when you're fighting, right, if you feel like you're the one that is in the right, you're not. Because the only way that there's a fight is that two people are wronging one another. You may not have started the fight, but the moment that you react poorly, the moment that you talk with a nasty tone or with a loud tone or curse, and I'm not talking about regular cursing, folks. I'm talking about angry cursing. And anybody who doesn't know the difference, well, you fucking should, right? That's an angry curse. And if you say that to somebody in reaction, right, or you give any of those bad tones, or God forbid you call them a name, you immediately become just as guilty as they are for whatever they may be doing. It takes two to fight, but it only takes one to stop. Just keep that in mind. And I thought this next picture is just quite beautiful. So look at what the fox does. And that's just awesome, right? By the way, people say that this isn't true. I guarantee you something like that would never happen in real life. It does. I have literally read stories, even seen footage of animals helping other animals that were lower in the food chain. It does happen in the wild. It happens everywhere. Don't fear what you don't even know to fear, number one, right? And when looking at that, if you react without thinking, you are usually reacting out of fear and not out of thought. I've learned how to be in the present. How? Asked the boy. I find a quiet spot and shut my eyes and breathe. That's good. And then I focus. What do you focus on? Cake, said the mole. What else, man? Right? If you didn't know that one was coming, y'all haven't been paying attention. Isn't it odd? We can only see our outsides, but nearly everything happens on the inside. If somebody wants to say something, that's fine. But that one, I think, speaks for itself. I mean, I'll just simply say, most of us, what we are displaying on the outside is not the true person anyway on the inside. Many, many times. Now, it doesn't make me better. It doesn't make me worse. It doesn't make me anything. It just simply makes me different and unique. And I feel like unique is special. Just like each and every one of you are special for yours, I have come to a place where it's 100% transparency. I just did an interview today in my other job with a guy that's like, this is how I'm approaching it. Like, there's no more secrets. There's no skeletons. There's nothing that I will not share or will not give. Just truly an open book. No reference intended. And I'll tell you, when you are like that, it's extremely liberating, number one. But if any of y'all saw like 8 Mile, it's really kind of Eminem's whole mantra that he has done. Like, I'm going to go ahead and tell you every fucked up thing about me, because then you've got nothing on me. I'm good with it. I'm good with my defects. By the way, the last 2 lines, those are me speaking. Had that conversation with that guy today. I no longer consider them shortcomings. They are unique gifts that most people don't appreciate. That's and to give you an idea of some of those, my dominating quality, my aggressive quality, these are and what I used to call shortcomings. I don't see it that way anymore. Mom, if you're watching, you'll appreciate that, considering a lot of that philosophy came from you and where you got it about the same age. So be careful not to fuck all. And as you can see, who's right there? Who's right there this time to help the mole, who obviously is not a good swimmer. He's a freaking digger, right? But we know foxes are swimmers, so who's there to help the mole right away? The fox. And what a beautiful scene that is. So much beauty we need to look after. Or is that look alter? I really want to say that it's after. It makes more sense for me. But if anybody has an opinion on that, so much beauty we need to look after. I'm pretty sure is what that is saying. By the way, I love, and I just want to take a moment to say it, I really love the artwork and the way that he did it, because it's just different. There's black and white, there's color. You will continue to see different variations. He didn't stick with one way of illustrating, right? One single way. Being kind to yourself is one of the greatest kindnesses, said the mole. Of course, I already talked about that a little bit, so I'll just move on. We often wait for kindness, but being kind to yourself, we often waste. No, we often, that really does look like wait. We often wait for kindness, but being kind to yourself can start now, said the mole. Maybe I should be a little confident, more confident, and that I'm reading the correct word. What do y'all think? Often the hardest person to forgive is yourself. That one, for me, is, that's exactly what I've been living through lately, and that's knowing that it's okay for the things and the mistakes that I made. Knowing that those are, number one, the past. They're not who I am now. And the only thing that I can work on is this very single moment that I'm living in. Nothing more and nothing less. I can plan, but the only way to get to those plans is by living and acting in that moment, right? Sometimes I feel lost, said the boy. Me too, said the mole. But we love you, and love brings you home. I think everyone is just trying to get home, said the mole. Hello. Hello. Doing nothing with friends is never doing nothing, is it? Asked the boy. No, said the mole. And here's some of his artwork where he starts to get a little bit different. Like I said, I really appreciate the things he does. And you can see I love the music, the indication of music playing, and then I can only describe as frolicking, in the sense that the boy and the mole on the horse and the fox running with him. And the boy falls off. You fell, but I've got you. Everyone is a bit scared, said the horse, but we are less scared together. Tears fall for a reason, and they are your strength, not your weakness. What is the bravest thing you've ever said? Asked the boy. Help, said the horse. When have you been at your strongest? Asked the boy. When I have dared to show my weakness. Asking for help isn't giving up, said the horse. It's refusing to give up. Sometimes I worry you'll all realize I'm ordinary, said the boy. Love doesn't need you to be extraordinary, said the mole. God, that one just... It's hard. I'm going to hit the bowl for a minute. Everybody has a problem with that. Well, you don't have to watch my show. And I'll still love you either way, even if you go. I'll let y'all get a preview of the next page, and then I'll read it. It really is one of the... I've only read one other book in my life that made me feel God the way this book makes me feel. It makes me feel 100%. If that's not a sign, crazy 8, because it's not 8 o'clock. My clock is set fast because it's just the way I've been doing it since I was 5. But that is a sign. I've never felt more okay with who I am and where I'm going and what I do than I do today. And this book helped. It wasn't the key, but I sure as hell felt God when I read it. We all need a reason to keep going, said the horse. What's yours? You 3, said the fox. Getting home, said the boy. Y'all know what the hell the mole said, right? Cake, said the mole. I've discovered something better than cake. No, you haven't, said the boy. I have, replied the mole. What is it? A hug. It lasts longer. Nothing beats kindness, said the horse. It sits quietly beyond all things. Sometimes, said the horse. Sometimes what? Asked the boy. Sometimes just getting up and carrying on is brave and magnificent. Remember that on those days when you feel like shit, because just living that day makes you special. Just getting through those hard times makes you special and allows you to get to the better times. How do they look so together and perfect? Asked the boy. If y'all can see the two little ducks there. There's a lot of frantic paddling going on beneath, said the horse. The greatest illusion, said the mole, is that life should be perfect. And it's very small down at the end, but if y'all take notice of the picture, there's some splats on it, and it didn't come out probably exactly the way Charlie had originally intended it. And at the very bottom, he says, my dog walked over the drawing, clearly trying to make the point. The greatest illusion, said the mole, is that life should be perfect. I want to talk about this for a minute before I go to the next page. I read that, and when I saw what he did there, leaving in the mistake, it's always been a mantra of my family and myself and what I've taught my kids. And I have Native American blood, so it's in my blood. Mistakes are part of life, and that's what makes them not mistakes. They're hurdles, they're learning points, right? The most perfect life is the life filled with imperfect moments, because an imperfect moment allows for learning, allows for change. And I read this and I was like, I bet you anything that somewhere in this book, this guy has what I said was a coffee mug ring, right? And no shit, the very next page. Is it the moon? Asked the boy. It's a teacup stain, said the mole. And where there's tea, there's cake. Be curious. As Timothy Leary, the great doctor, said, think for yourself. Life is difficult, but you are loved. And I can tell you that I love each and every one of you, whether you believe it now or it takes you 10 years to realize I'm telling the truth. So you know all about me? Asked the boy. Yes, said the horse. And you still love me? We love you all the more. And I'm going to stop here for another minute because I shared this in the very beginning of me starting this. I mean, it didn't take long at all before I realized the more that I shared and the more I let people into what I consider to be, all those deep, dark secrets and those things that other people would consider I would never tell anybody, and I'll take that to my grave kind of thing. It was not only liberating to say it, but the reception that I got was overwhelming in the sense that I was never ridiculed or made to feel shit. I've never had that. I've had negativity. That's just normal. I'm talking about the people that care, because if you're negative to me, you don't matter. If you're negative to me, I'm going to put you out of my life. I'm not going to keep negativity in my life anymore. Life has enough negativity naturally. So if I work to be positive, then I can overcome those moments. But one of them was letting all of you in, and all of you making me feel loved even more. Thank you. Sometimes I think you believe in me more than I do, said the boy. You'll catch up, said the horse. You'll catch up. Fake it until you make it. The fox never really speaks, whispered the boy. No, and it's lovely he is with us, said the horse. No, and it is lovely he is with us, said the horse. To be honest, I often feel I have nothing interesting to say, said the fox. Being honest is always interesting, said the horse. I mean, isn't it just go with what I was saying a minute ago? There's something I haven't told you, said the horse. What's that? Said the boy. I can fly, but I stopped because it made other horses jealous. Well, we love you, whether you can fly or not. Be true to you, and you'll pull through. Again, he gets into some of these other type of drawings. This next one is really, I thought it was just totally, took me off guard, Didn't expect to see that type of drawing in here. Is your glass half empty or half full? Asked the mole. I think I'm grateful to have a glass, said the boy. Nothing. I got nothing. If you don't get it, you might want to leave the room. We don't know about tomorrow, said the horse. All we need to know is that we love each other. Back to the core. When the dark clouds come, keep going. And I don't know if y'all recognize it, but this is the exact drawing that I used in the beginning. And I don't want to, if I take my stuff away, it'll end up making me big, and I don't want to do that. But I'll show it to you at the end again when I leave, and that's what we'll be left with. When the big things fell out of control, when the big things feel out of control, focus on what you love right under your nose. I'm sure y'all see the big drawing, but there they are down there, lost and all that. But just focus on, back to what we were talking about earlier, being true to you. Everything else will work itself out. This storm will pass. That's the classic, this too shall pass, right? And there they are after the storm. In fact, we just had a storm here. And one of the most beautiful things I love about having storms here in Colorado is that you're almost always blessed and graced with an incredible rainbow. Many times a double rainbow. Most of the time a double rainbow, whether you can see the whole thing or not. And today was no exception. And it was quite beautiful. We have such a long way to go, sighed the boy. Yes, but look how far we've come, said the horse. Sometimes I want to say I love you all, said the mole. But I find it difficult. Do you? Said the boy. Yes, so I say something like, I'm glad we're all here. Okay, said the boy. I'm glad we're all here. We are so glad you are here too. What's your best discovery? Asked the mole. That I'm enough as I am, said the boy. That I'm enough as I am. Wow. I've realized why we are here, whispered the boy. For cake? Asked the mole. To love, said the boy, and to be loved, said the horse. What do we do when our hearts hurt? Asked the boy. We wrap them with friendship, shared tears and time, till they wake hopefully and happy again. Do you have any other advice? Asked the boy. Don't measure how valuable you are by the way you are treated, said the horse. Always remember you matter. You're important, and you are loved, and you bring to this world things no one else can. That's every fucking one of them. Home isn't always a place, is it? Thank you. Not the end. Look how far we've come. Sometimes all you hear about is the hate, but there is so more love in the world, but there is more love in the world than you could possibly imagine. This book is about friendship, and I couldn't have made it without my friends. So thank you, Matthew, Grace, Bear, Phil, Miranda, Amy, Emma, Scarlett, Charlie, Richard, and Helen, to name a few, whose conversations and love are so part of these pages. Thanks to Combe, I believe, the brilliant Irishman who helped me sew this book together, often late into the night. Thank you to everyone at Penguin, Gail, Joel, Tess, Becky, Lucy, Alice, Ray, Beth, Nate, and especially Laura, who so kindly coped with me and my messy drawing. Thank you so much on social media who encouraged me with everything. Thank you, Sarah, Daisy, and Christopher, to your love and endless cups of tea, and to my dogs, Dill and Barney. Just take these steps. The horizon will look after itself. So I'm going to hit this bowl and give any of y'all an opportunity to maybe say something if you want to. But what I can tell you is hopefully you got just a piece of what I got from that book, because it is probably one of the most, if not the most simplest way of putting some of the hardest philosophies to actually live by into. It's like, I mean, I carry it with me everywhere. I got the digital version. I got, I love the book, and I got the digital so I could lend this out to people. I'm trying to have everybody read it that I know. And I'll say this, I'm not the only one that's been affected by the book like that. It's obviously had a tremendous reception. It is a bestseller, but I didn't find it because it was a bestseller. I don't find books like that. I found it because I was looking for books on philosophy, right? I wanted to have some good books because of where I want to take the show. Right? By the way, Odin, if you're still here, do you by chance know the author, or do you know something about the author that you'd love to share? Because if you do, I mean, I would really love to. Honestly, I'd love to know. But back to what I was saying, I was merely searching for a book on philosophy, and obviously this is being categorized as such because it came up in my search, and it was like, this is a must read. And I thought it was funny because they're like, oh, here's a new Giving Tree. And when I said that, the Giving Tree is very, very, very much a philosophical book. Shel Silverstein did back then, a good job of what this guy has taken to a next level. And what I mean by that is because it was focused on kind of one principle versus principles of life, right? It was focused on the principle of giving. And the moment I saw it, I knew I was going to get it. I got another one that I'm going to get, and hopefully I may end up sharing it with y'all because it looks like it's similar to this. But when I say it felt so like I wrote it, I was literally working on a book, and sometimes people can say, oh, you're full of shit. It didn't have the exact same characters, but I knew a fox and a boy would be part of the characters, and I wanted to try to write a book. And now I think Charlie is giving me some inspiration because I want to do it my way, but he's shown me how to do that. And the book, I wanted it to be on karma, right? The whole concept of karma. So, which I feel like, in my personal opinion, like if you've heard me talk about karmic justice and the debt that I feel like I'm personally paying back. Thank you. It is, isn't it? Thank you for saying so. I appreciate that. But, if you think about karma is really life, right? I don't look at karma as being just a piece of life. To me, it goes with life and everything you do, because everything you do, you're going to bring back some type of karma to you. I love the way karma is described in the Matrix. Obviously, there's a lot of symbolism there that's being used, but it doesn't really differ a lot from what I'm saying here. Karma is not just something to be tossed away in the corner. Every single person, whether they believe in karma or not, is living karma. And that's just the way of it. So, thank you very much, Charlie. This is one of the greatest gifts to mankind ever. And I hope that when I get done with what I want to do in the next couple of years, when it comes to a book, because you've really shown me a way. I don't have to do a children's book. I always thought that was going to be the way because I had such a love for Shel Silverstein and his books, and also had a great love for his Freaking at the Freakers Ball. For those of you who don't know that album, I suggest you go to Spotify and look it up. Shel Silverstein was also a musical artist and a pothead. So for those of you who don't know that, he was one of the original advocates, if you will, of cannabis, So anyway, I feel like I read this because it is great. I read this because I needed to, and I read this because it is going to help me accomplish more of my goals. And there's some other things, but I want to talk about. But really, tonight was essentially the book reading, and that's really all that it was. I did want to, as I say, there's some things I want to talk about, but I have Friday, which is the last final episode of the season. And I'll go over all those things I want to talk about at that time. I'm not even going to worry about doing a dab tonight because I'll just save them. Money's tight. So if I don't dab with you, that's more dabs I have later with the missus. Most people don't realize just how normal Strange is. It was in that book right there. And if y'all don't know him, find Weird Walter. He's one of the dudes that I follow, and he follows me back, and he speaks about it all the time. In fact, he had, I'll just read you this tweet that he, did I pass it? I did. Hold on. I'll read you this tweet that he did today that I thought was that was perfect. It's exactly what I constantly say. Make your weird light shine bright so the other weirdos know where to find you. And I literally, I text him back on it, simply put. Of course, he's a really good guy, and just like all of us, he's got a lot of weird things about him. but he's a loving soul and a positive dude. So give him a follow, give him a check out. I love all of you. Assholes are like opinions, right? Everybody's got one in their life, and everybody else thinks that theirs stinks worse than everybody else's. Mine stink like fresh brewed coffee and freshly packed dank medical grade weed. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. One of the power twins with us. Thank you for the heart. That's very sweet. Yeah, I don't know if you were here for the whole episode or not, but if you get a chance, go back and watch it. Or just fuck it, like I have in the description. It's in there, by the way. I meant to tell you all this. The thing's on sale right now for not even $11 on Amazon. 55% off. It's actually, the Kindle version is actually more expensive than the hardback version you can hold close to your heart, right? I think that's funny. So opinions like assholes, everybody stinks, everybody thinks that everybody else's stinks. Mine stink like coffee and this fucking great weed. I love all y'all till the next episode, which is Friday. That's the last episode. I'll be off for 20 days as far as live broadcast. Slow like honey, there's the other one. Cheers. Both twins were in his, because I'm pretty sure Slow Like Honey, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that your sister, or am I wrong? I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's the other powerful twin. I love that. I love the powers. I think that's just so cool. I can't wait to ask y'all, and you don't have to answer now. We'll save it for when you're on the show. But I can't wait to ask you if that's actually a real name, or if that's something that the two of y'all came up with so that y'all could be the power twins. Anyway, either way, I love it. I think it's awesome. Yeah, twin powers. I know. There it is. I thought so. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Wonder Twin powers activate. Have a wonderful evening, all of you. Until the next episode, I will see you one more time before I'm off. By the way, just if you haven't heard, I will be back on the 22nd, in the 23rd. So the season 2's premiere will be a double header. I'll be on that 22nd, which I believe is a Thursday. Either way, and then I'll be on again right at the next day. So 2 days in a row. I love all of y'all. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you so much for all the positive vibes. I hope that all of y'all's night is a little bit better than it was before, and I hope tomorrow is a better day than it was today, and continues to do so and gain that kind of traction. You're all incredible people, and truly, I love all of you. Hey, there's one more. Thank you so much. I mean that. I really can't wait to meet y'all officially, right? That'll be awesome. Everybody have a wonderful evening. If I can get back to the right button. Holy shit. I've said have a wonderful evening like 8 times. Crazy 8s. Have a great one. Peace.